barkeb Serigne Béthio asiru mal abrari naziru.
Barkeb Cheikh Béthio. January 16, 2014 was the funeral day of Serigne, elder brother of Cheikh Béthio. On that day, the Sheikh delivered a talk on spirituality, explaining the exoteric and esoteric aspects of spirituality, using the cross as metaphor. In this talk, he will tell us about the absolute necessity to have a spiritual guide, an authentic guide, in order to reach the divine proximity. Then, he will focus on the importance of not letting the society and its rules and regulation prevent us from following that guide. To finish, he will talk about tarbiyah, tarqiyah, and tasfiyah and its fallouts. Jërëjëf Serigne Saliou. I pray for a long and healthy life for our beloved Cheikh Béthio.
Jërëjëfati Serigne Saliou. Jërëjëfati Serigne Saliou.
I'm giving thanks to Serigne Saliou. We are really, really thankful. To you, my co-disciple and sons as well, I really thank you for having this idea inspired to you by Serigne Saliou to give thanks. All this is the thanksgiving. The only one worth being thanked is God. And our God is Serigne Saliou. If it wasn't because of him, we wouldn't know God. If it wasn't because of him, we wouldn't feel or see God in him. He said to me, if your spiritual guide is an authentic guide, calling him God won't affect you in any ways. Because God is God. He created and owned everything. But if you want to know God or want to reach God, you have to find a way to him through a guide who would be like a ladder you would use to reach him. Otherwise, there is no way you can know God, because you don't know where he is. He is everything. He is everywhere. He is even in you, but you don't know where in you. That's why you need a guide, an authentic guide, and follow him. Anything you do for him is as if you're doing it for God. Sometimes you can hear a disciple call his authentic guide God. Then you hear someone who only knows Islamic law or Sharia, or didn't have a deep understanding of spirituality, say this disciple is doing shirk, finding God an equal. La ilaha illallah. There is nothing but God. God is everything and is everywhere. Once he helps you by showing you the light and how to reach it, if you give yourself to him, you have given yourself to God. Serigne Saliou has said to me that there is no harm in calling your authentic guide your God. There is nothing wrong with it. That's why Mam Cheikh Ibrahima Fall, the door to the Murid path, has saved us all. He has spent time looking for Serigne Touba, and once he found him, He left everything and focused only on him until he revealed to those helped by God that Serigne Touba is God, because he is the one taking people to God. Serigne Saliou has said, if you meet an authentic guide embodied in a human envelope, do not have any fear calling him God. God is everywhere. You can find him anywhere. But when you search for God, look where he wants to be found. Once God helps you from his power, and he is the only one who can help you find the authentic guide. If you follow him and focus only on him without being afraid to call him God, nothing will prevent you from reaching the divine proximity. Look at this crowd. And this is only a small portion compared to those that came earlier. This cannot be done even if you're as sharp as a tack. Not because you hold an exoteric knowledge, neither being smart nor being intelligent. This cannot be your own plan. This is not a deal. If you cannot see the divine power behind this, you are just missing the point. Spirituality can be divided in two things: the society and its rules and regulation, or exoteric, and the esoteric aspect of spiritual matters. It's like you take two rulers and form a cross. You can call it a cross, like the cross used in Christianity, that can explain exoteric and esoteric. The horizontal bar would symbolize the society, and the vertical one is the path leading to God. He is everywhere. La ilaha illallah. There is nothing but God. He manifests in everything. But he defined a path that leads to him. If you want to reach the divine proximity, you need to connect to the authentic guide. Once you find that guide, your spiritual need will be fulfilled. But if you cannot find him, no matter how smart you are, you will just be groping your way along. You can be a good person, polite, helping people, do things that make people call you a good person, but still you're missing the whole purpose of your existence. Yes, I'm telling you. I said, it's like the cross. That's why. It's something deep. The horizontal bar can be considered as the society, the world manifest. The vertical one now is listening to God. The junction point of the bars is the starting point of any social activities going either left or right of the horizontal bar. People will interact there, working on being good people, helping each other. Now all the bad people will go from the junction point down below. You know, that's like a cross. Those helped by God will go up above the vertical bar. Every single being is on the horizontal bar, the base. But the vertical bar goes down, starting at the junction of the cross. The bad people will go down the cross. They will be in the pitfalls. God spares us from those. That's those lost in the streets, always in liquor stores and bars. Some are those doing things, evil things, a good Muslim wouldn't name. They are people who are on the horizontal bar and go down the vertical bar. Now those doing righteous deeds will go up. Those are on the right path leading to God. It's not everybody that can reach that station. You can be a good person in the eyes of people, polite. People consider you as a good person. You share with everybody, not lying. You can do all the things people define as good and positive, and still, that will not save you. You can be good on the horizontal bar, having good interaction with the society, being good with them, going to the baby naming ceremonies, going to their funerals, and despite all those good efforts, you haven't moved an inch toward the divine. No. This society and the way it functions, helping and supporting one another. If you are called a good person, it's just part of the social standards. But as far as God is concerned, you haven't started your spiritual journey yet. Social goods and behaviors is just part of the moral standards. If you don't have an authentic spiritual guide, you will not move an inch towards God. No. During your spiritual journey, you will go through many steps. Some people say there are 7 different stages before you reach the divine proximity, because it's divided into stages. You go up, keep going up, keep going up. You have already left the horizontal bar. It's true that you have to make sure you abide by the rules and regulations of the society you live in, as far as moral and social standards are concerned. By doing so, people will call you a good person, but despite those efforts, you haven't moved an inch toward God. It's something good because you will be in harmony with the society. People will call you a good person, will praise you, and yet you haven't moved an inch toward the divine. Being on the vertical one elevating you, and you go up, keep going. But your journey can be fast and smooth, but can be slowed down as well. The thing that can slow it down is a horizontal bar, that is society and its rules and regulations. If you don't pay attention, you might think that what society considers as good and positive is the right way, and that can prevent you from unveiling to the divine. Now, if you are lucky enough to find that authentic guide showing people the path to God, if you're committed to Him and give everything you have, those who don't know, your family included, will think you are crazy. You have lost your mind. Despite the critiques, you never want to look back. Yet since you have met the authentic guide who knows how to help you with God, they will say anything to you like you're crazy. You were this and you were that in space. Despite all that, you keep going, following on your way journey until you access the divine proximity and receive Allah's satisfaction. Once you have completed your spiritual journey, your authentic guide will send you back to the society to learn the social rules and standards. Yes, you have to come back and now abide by those rules and regulations of the society and moralities. Relink with your family and friends and do what everybody does, and yet you are not like those because you have gone through tarbiyah, tarqiyah and tasfiyah. At this point, I chose to pause a little bit and give some explanation about these 3 stages, tarbiyah, tarqiyah and tasfiyah, trying to help understand these 3 spiritual concepts. The first stage is education and cultivation of the soul, tarbiyah, to obtain noble character, which stresses moral manual labor, juf, or actions, and collectively working with other students as a means of combating the shortcomings that is, excess of pride, greed, and idleness. The second stage is spiritual elevation, tarqiyya, obtained by only a few gifted disciples that have their souls elevated beyond the futility of the material world, carnal life, and profane passions. The third stage is the quest for spiritual perfection, tasfiyya, to actualize the innate attribute of Allah that lay latent within man. It is at that stage that the individual reaches the pinnacle of spiritual elevation and obtain a point of perfection. Then the disciple will continue his journey by returning back to the society and participating in various leadership roles within their community and within the society. Now let's keep listening to our beloved Sheikh. If you have an authentic guide, he will bring you back to the society. You can now mingle with the society, attending the events and stuff. But if you had stayed on the horizontal bar, you would have never reached the divine. Now, once you reach the divine, there will always be a possibility to return back to the society, be an example to your family and a reference for the society. You will know how to use the assets and standards driven by the society. For example, how to go to the post office, how to use a stamp, how to respect the police, and so on and so forth. But if you worry about those things first, it will be impossible for you to access the divine proximity. Go. Society will hold any kind of grudge against you. Remember, when Mam Sheikh Ibra Fall chose Serigne Touba over his mother, that choice was not a piece of cake in the eyes of the society, but he just followed his spiritual instinct and kept going. But when he got what he was looking for and owned it, he returned back to his family, and up till now all his family is proud of him. So if you let the society block you, saying this is good, this is bad, you would rather follow your mother and your father. Yes, indeed, that's something good, but it would be better to start worrying about society after you return from your spiritual journey. That way you will be able to help them, be useful to them. Otherwise, society will prevent you from starting your journey. So, the cross could be used to explain things concerning Allah. I'm quite certain that our Christian brothers wouldn't understand it the way we do. I mean, spiritually speaking. But if you were to teach spirituality to someone, the cross would be a good method and technique to use. Once you reach the divine, you need to return back. Because after you go through tarbiyya, tarqiyya, and tasfiyya, you need to return back to the society. Yes, tasfiyya. And now learn its rules and regulation of moralities. Learn the political, moral, and technical aspects of the society. Be able to live with the society. But if you just worry about society and its rules and regulations, there is no way for you to access the divine. That's why there is no help. No way. No. Mom and dad will hinder you. Your social environment as well. The reason why you won't be able to elevate spiritually. No. They may say, what a good son. But if you don't know Allah, what a waste of time. Go. Once you reach your destination, return. That's how you will be more useful to them. Go and come back with Allah's satisfaction and all the means necessary to help and support that society. But if you just remain on the horizontal bar, no matter how good they say you are, you haven't progressed spiritually an inch. When you pass away, you will be judged, and whoever is judged there will be punished. Go, and when you access the divine proximity and obtain Allah's satisfaction, being unstained, return back. That's what we call tasfiyah. Tarbiyah, tarkhiyah, tasfiyah. When you return, you will be able to learn your social rules. Example, how to pay your taxes, how to go to funerals, how to go to religious events, how to do this, how to do that. But as long as the horizontal bar is blocking you, you will go nowhere. Just go. Even if they say you are crazy, you have lost your mind. With a strong spiritual commitment and an authentic guide, once you reach the divine proximity, you return to the society. That's what we call tasfiyah. So you come back and mingle, and they will start praising you when you have already returned back to the society. But at the very beginning, if society block you, you won't reach the divine proximity. Society will veil you. They will prevent you from going. So only an authentic guide can take you there. But still society won't understand, saying, how can you follow him? How can you give anything you have to him? It's true that we have many false sheikhs fooling people. They can take nobody nowhere. What they do is fool the disciples and take them off the path. But if you have met an authentic guide, just follow him. When your parents and friends and neighbors understand, they will know that you have made the right choice. But that's rare. Because in most case scenarios, they won't understand you. They will say things like you are following this man. You are not even taking care of yourself. This and that. Serigne Touba is the one guiding you. It would seem like he is separating you from the society. They won't understand at first, but just follow him. But do not get me wrong. I'm talking about the one who is on the right path with the authentic guide. Be careful. I'm not talking about the false sheikhs, those fooling people. God is the one helping everybody. He will help you find that authentic guide. It's not easy. Only God can help you. So that ends the talk of the sheikh. I pray by the blessing of Serigne Saliou, Serigne Cheikh Béthio has a long and healthy life with this. Jërëjëf.
barkeb Serigne Béthio.